You know, I thought for a long time that Oprah Winfrey was the richest woman in the world. Imagine my surprise when I found out she isn't even among the top 5. Then I thought Mackenzie Scott, formerly Mackenzie Bezos, was the richest woman in the world. Turns out I was wrong about that as well. According to Forbes, there are 328 women billionaires around the world as of 2021. But still, we usually talk about the wealthiest men in the world. So today, in solidarity with girl bosses everywhere, here are the top 5 richest women in the world from us. So, who are these incredibly wealthy ladies and how did they garner such immense amounts of wealth? Let's find out, starting with number 5, Miriam Adelson. She's worth $37 billion, making her the richest Israeli and the 36th richest person in the world. Miriam Adelson was born in Tel Aviv in 1945. Miriam has accomplished quite a lot in her long life. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Genetics, as well as a medical degree from Tel Aviv University. She worked as a physician for a while, and in 1993, she founded a substance abuse center and research clinic. This might surprise you, but Miriam Adelson didn't make $37 billion just by being a doctor. I mean, her last name isn't strange, after all. She is the widow of Sheldon Adelson, the former CEO and chairman of Las Vegas Sands, a casino company. But not just any casino company. Las Vegas Sands was purchased in 1988 by Sheldon and transformed into the cross-continental, multinational giant of a casino it is today, with branches in Pennsylvania, Macau, Singapore, and of course, Las Vegas. It's not surprising that before his death, he was worth $36.4 billion, and he was one of the 20 wealthiest people in America. Speaking of which, after his death in January 2021 at the age of 87, he left more than half of the $48 billion gambling empire to Miriam, landing her at number 5 on our list. Number 4, Julia Koch. She's worth $43 billion, making her the 27th richest billionaire. Julia was born in 1962. She spent her early life farming and working for her parents' furniture store in Iowa. In the 1980s, she moved to New York and worked as an assistant to fashion designer Adolfo. Now, get ready to pick your jaws off the floor because what I'm about to tell you might shock you. Julia Koch did not make $43 billion working as an assistant to a fashion designer. She and her 3 children inherited their fortune from one of the Koch brothers, David Koch, who before his death was worth $53.4 billion, making him the 7th richest American. Julia met David via a blind date in 1991, and after dating for a few years, they got married in 1996. After David's death in 2019 at the age of 79, Julia and her 3 children inherited a 42% stake in Koch Industries. With an inheritance that massive, Julia found herself catapulted to number 4 on the list of wealthiest women on the planet. Number 3, Mackenzie Scott. She's worth $59 billion, making her the 22nd richest billionaire and the only person on this list who didn't inherit their fortune. Even though she's known mostly for her marriage and high-profile divorce from famous very rich man Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie has lived a rather interesting life. Born in 1970 in the state of California, she's always been an avid writer, claiming to have started writing seriously from the age of 6. In 1992, she earned her bachelor's degree in English at Princeton University, where she studied under Nobel laureate Toni Morrison. In 2005, she wrote her debut novel, The Testing of Luther Albright, which won her an American Book Award, and later published a second novel in 2013. In 1993, she married Jeff Bezos. Mackenzie was one of Amazon's first employees and was heavily involved in Amazon's early days. They divorced in 2019, and as part of the divorce settlement, Bezos transferred 25% of his Amazon stake to Mackenzie, which was 4% of the company, after which she became a signatory to the Giving Pledge, a commitment to give at least half of her wealth to charity. That's no small feat. She's already given away a whopping $2.8 billion worth of charitable gifts in 2020 alone. She's so charitable that who knows, maybe next year she won't even be on this list. Number 2, Alice Walton. She is worth $66 billion, making her the 17th richest billionaire. Born in 1949 in Newport, Arkansas, she was raised along with her 3 brothers, Rob, John, and Jim, in Bentonville. She is the daughter of Sam Walton, meaning Alice Walton is an heiress to the Walmart fortune. Yes, that Walmart. The one you should definitely stay away from during Black Friday. You only make that mistake once. Throughout her life, Alice Walton has worked as an equity analyst, a money manager, a broker, and president of an investment bank, to name a few. But somehow she refuses the allure of working for Walmart like her brothers, choosing to curate art at the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, the art museum she just casually founded. Formerly the richest woman on the planet, only recently beaten by the number 1 on our list. Number 1, Francoise Bettencourt Myers. She is worth $82.9 billion, making her the 12th richest billionaire billionaire in the world. So who is this apparent richest woman on the planet, and where did her money come from? And how come she doesn't get talked about very often? To find that out, we need to look a bit into the history of the source of her enormous wealth, the cosmetics giant L'Oreal. Founded in 1909 by Eugene Paul Louis Schuler, he was a pharmacist and entrepreneur who developed and manufactured his own products, which he sold to hairdressers. In 1909, he registered his company called Société Française de Teinture Inoffensive pour Cheveux, which would later become L'Oreal. He would eventually have a daughter called Liliane Henriette Charlotte Bettencourt, who had her own daughter, Françoise Bettencourt Myers, the current richest woman in the world. Now that answers the who part of the question, but not the how part of the question. How does one make so much money selling cosmetics? So where did the money come from? Françoise Bettencourt Myers inherited her fortune from 2017's richest woman on earth, her mother Liliane Bettencourt, who she had a rather frayed relationship with, even once filing a criminal complaint against her mother's closest friend. Remember kids, don't call the police on people's friends, even if they're allegedly trying to con your mom out of millions of dollars. Snitches get stitches. Even though Françoise didn't have the best relationship with her mom, she still inherited a fortune valued at $56.8 billion after her mom's passing in 2017, immediately placing her pretty high on the list of the richest people on earth. And on top of that, her family owns 33% of the stock in L'Oreal, one of the biggest cosmetic companies on the planet. Please raise your hand if you're still surprised she's so wealthy. Nobody? Thought so. Françoise likes to focus on her more philanthropic endeavors, the most popular of which is donating $226 million to renovate Notre Dame Cathedral after the fire in 2019. But that's not her only philanthropic flex. She also is currently the president and founder of the Foundation Bettencourt Schuler, a foundation created to push the boundaries of the arts and life sciences, pouring hundreds of millions into medical research, the arts, education, and housing, and routinely giving out grants and awards for excellence in those fields. She does all this while retaining her position on L'Oreal's board of directors, a position she has had since 1997 and is currently its chairwoman. That's a lot of work for someone worth so much money, but then again, that mindset is probably the only reason I'm not the richest woman on the planet. So there you have it. These are the top 5 richest women currently walking the face of this planet. Fun fact, the top richest women in the world are worth a combined $1.53 trillion. That's not exactly change, yet this group often goes unnoticed. So we thought we'd shine a bit of light. Bet you didn't know the richest woman in the world was a French woman. I'm just glad I never told anyone I thought it was Oprah. So what do you think is the reason female billionaires often get ignored? Do you think we'll see an increase in female billionaires as we move toward a more equal society? And if you have the contact of a billionaire family looking to adopt, let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us.